No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. What's up, guys? Welcome back to I Lessons. Now, today we're taking a look at why no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. So, I've been reading Genesis and I came across the story of Joseph, the son of Jacob, which the Lord renamed him Israel. But looking at the story of Joseph, if we look from Genesis chapter 37, we see some very important things that happen here. So, starting off, we see that Israel, the father of Joseph, loved him more because he was born to him at an old age. And because he was loved more, all his other brothers envied him and they hated him for it. Now, Joseph had a few dreams, and in these dreams, he was very successful and he came on top of his brothers. So his brothers looked at him like, okay, so you're having these dreams and what? We're just supposed to go by it. We're supposed to bow down to you. We're supposed to worship you. And because he had these dreams, they hated him for it. They envied him. And when we move along here, we see that Israel sent Joseph out to go get his brothers. And when he did go try to get his brothers and bring them back to their father, they plotted against him to kill him. But Reuben, one of Joseph's brothers, said, no, let's not kill him. So they didn't kill him, but they did entrap him. But then they go on to sell him to some Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. And then they went back to Israel with Joseph's robe covered in animal blood and said, look, father, he has been slaughtered, he has been killed. So Israel naturally believed them because he saw the robe belong to Joseph and he grieved. And he did not want anything to do with anybody else but just to grieve the loss of his son. And while this is going on, Joseph is sold to Egypt, and one of Pharaoh's officials bought him from the Ishmaelites. But though these bad things were happening to Joseph, the Lord was always with Joseph. And so Joseph was actually prospering. The Lord was with him so much that the Egyptian master saw this, and he gave everything to Joseph. He put him in control of his household. He didn't treat him like a slave. Instead, he gave him position and power. And because he did this and he didn't harm Joseph, the Lord also blessed the Egyptian master. Now we see in Genesis chapter 39, verse 7, that Joseph was described as being well built and handsome. And the wife of Joseph's master was taking notice of this, and she plotted against him to try to sleep with him. But Joseph refused because he wanted to honor his master, and because his master took care of him, he was not going to betray him and sleep with his wife. Now she insisted, and she tried over and over again. But what did Joseph do? He fled away from her. And one day, when there was no one in the house, she came trying to get up on Joseph again, and he fled, and he left his robe behind. So what did the woman do? She lied, and she said, look, this man has tried to sleep with me. He has tried to play sports on me, and he has left his robe when I screamed out for help. Being this type of woman, she went ahead and kept lying and even told her husband. And when the master came home and found out about this, he was enraged, so mad, and he felt betrayed that he took Joseph and he sent him to prison. But the Lord was still with Joseph, and when he was in prison, the warden saw that the Lord was with him. And the Lord being with Joseph granted the warden kindness and favor in the eyes of him. And what did the warden do? He put Joseph in charge of the whole prison. I'm telling you, this is true story. He put him in charge of the prison and everything that was going on in the prison. And he didn't even bother to check on him. And when I read this, it really amazes me the power that the Lord has. One, his brothers tried to kill him, but then ended up selling him. Two, when he was sold, he was not treated as a slave, but instead was granted power over the household he was sold to. And three, when he was thrown in prison after being lied about, he was still in power. And it just made me kind of just think and sit down and say, wow, no weapon formed against Joseph was prospering because the Lord was with him. And it honestly makes me think about my life and just certain situations that were going against me. And it also makes me think of how my life has been transitioning and how everything since I have given my life to Christ has been getting smoother and smoother. And things don't really like affect me so much. And these things that would have probably knocked me on my feet back then, I'm standing firm on them today. And so I think it's very important that we take a look at these things in our life and we give thanks. We give thanks for the ability that we have. We give thanks for the kindness and the love that the Lord shows us every day by protecting us, by guiding us, by strengthening us, by healing us, and by most of all, keeping his word. Because Joseph is the son of Israel or Jacob, which is the son of Isaac, which is the son of Abraham. And God had promised Abraham that his descendants will prosper and that he will stick by them and made sure that his descendants will grow in numbers and be fruitful in life. And that's the same thing that the Lord promises us, that if we believe in Jesus Christ, He will sanctify us, He will protect us, and He will guide us. And He will give us His strength and His love so that we may seek righteousness all the time and enjoy this life that we have with Him, where we didn't have Him, we suffered. So take a moment right now and examine your life. Examine those moments in your life where things were going really bad, but the Lord was with you, and He blessed you, and He protected you. And give thanks to the Lord, because with Him no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. This is I9 Lessons. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.